Hello, I'm Zett, and today I show you how to install the VHBL for the Firmware 3.36 via arcade darts. This is yet another exploit game released by QuickRazor, and if you have arcade darts, then you can do this. If you live in North America, then you can buy arcade darts via a computer or the PS3, and then you have to transfer it via a PS3 on your PS Vita. You cannot directly download it with your PS Vita, so if you live in North America, you have to use a PS3, download arcade darts, and then transfer arcade darts from your North American PS3 to your North American PlayStation Vita. If you live in Europe, like I do, then you can directly download arcade darts via your PS Vita. There are no such restrictions on the European version. Okay, at first download the save data for your region. Since I live in Europe, I'm downloading the EU files and I'm going to save them. I currently assume you have the game installed on your PS Vita and then you're trying to follow this tutorial. Don't ask me how to install the game. You buy it from the PlayStation Store and either directly download it, European version, or transfer it via PS3, North American version. But okay, you download the files, and I have the files here. Then we also need fake NP. We just click on this attachment, save it, and we have fake NP. Then we need the package viewer. I just download the package viewer, save it, and we have it. If package viewer is not working at yours, install Microsoft Framework, whatever. Oh, and then we need a base game. What is a base game? A base game is a second independent game, a second independent PSP game, which we need because arcade darts itself is only used as an installer, but not as the game itself we need at the end. So we need arcade darts as an installer and a second game as base game. If you live in Europe, you can use the Ape Quest demo PSP version as your base game. It's 232 MB, but it's free, so this would be a free base game. And if you own Uno, also a PSP game, then you can also just download Uno, because why not? And it's small. Okay, let's assume you have a base game you want to use. And important is it must not be a minis, so no minis, no PS1 games, no PS Vita games, no PlayStation Mobile games, and none of the games which is listed on this list from 3.15 to the end. So this means my stylist, the Japanese game, my stylist again, Skate Park City, Space Invaders, and the whole shit up to the bottom. And with bottom I mean the 3.18 exploit games, so up to XS Moto, must not be used because they can't be used. So Numblast and the Miku game would be okay, but Patapon 2 not. Okay, just if you want a free one, just get Ape Quest. Okay, I'm using Uno, and what we have to do is simple. We go to account.sonyentertainmentnetwork.com, then we go to media, then we go to games, and then you search your game in this list. You can use the previous and next buttons until you find it. I found my game, which is Uno, then I click here download and I get this XPD file and I'm saving it. Now I have my XPD file, and the next thing we need is, well, we also need Notepad++, but whatever. Okay, I have a folder which is called Vita Exploit Arcade Darts, and in this folder I will put all the files we just downloaded. First, wrong button, F2, I'm going to rename this to Uno, and then I put the package viewer, arcade darts files, fake NP files, and this Uno file into this folder. Next I'm going to open fake NP and drag and drop these two files into this folder. Then I'm going to open package viewer, drop this file into the folder, and then I'm going to open this folder, and we have the np Zett slot 00, VHBL whatever, and the VHBL ISO, and the README. You should read the README, that's why it's in here, and we drag and drop all these files into this folder. Okay, Then we open this XPD file, edit with Notepad. Then we have this URL, which ends with .pkg. It's a package file. We copy it, go into our browser, paste the link and press save. That way we get a new package file, and this package file is around the same size as your base game, so it would be around 300 for Ape Quest and around 29 for Uno. Then it's in my download folder, which is here. I put it in this folder. As you can see, it's a PKG file. I'm renaming it to Uno because then we know it's Uno. Then we open the package viewer. There we go. Then we drag and drop the Uno package file, go into user direction, content, right click the eboot, extract to source folder, and then it is extracting the file into this Uno folder because the package file is called Uno. Then we go in this Uno folder, in the nph user direction content folder, have this eboot.ppp. I rename it into uno.ppp, and then I move it into this folder. And now we have everything we need in this folder. We keep shift pressed, then we press right click on our mouse, and then we have something new in this window, and if we click it we have the CMD inside of this folder. As you can see, the path is c/download/Vita exploit game -arcade darts. So yeah. Now we see we have fake NP in this folder, we have the VHBL ISO in this folder, and Uno. Then we type fake np -b uno.pvp vhbl.iso and eboot.pvp. Oops. There we go. And in the end, if everything is done, we have this eboot.pvp file, which has the base header of Uno, so we can use Uno to fake it, and it contains the VHBL itself, at least the content of this ISO. If I check the param-SFO, you can see it has Uno as name and nph whatever as the disk ID and so on, but that's not important. Then we move this eboot.pvp into the npez53/00 folder, and then I think a file is missing. Let's see. It says update path.txt to the path of your base game, but this folder doesn't have a path file. Whatever. New text document path.txt. It's important that the txt is also in capital letters. This is very important. Then we open it, and then we have to type ms0 psp/game/ and now we need to choose this. Since Uno is my base game and this is the ID of Uno, I'm copying this ID because this is Uno's ID. If you use another ID like Ape Quests, then the ID is something else. You don't have to copy the ID which I'm using in my video, except you're using Uno 2, the European version of Uno. So after this slash, you have to put the ID of your game. European Uno would be this ID, and just use the ID you get after you extract the package file, which is in this case here, or just check the log file. As you can see, it says nph blah 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 blah. Shouldn't be so hard. It's basically the same as the Patapon 2 tutorial. Then after we did this, we save our path.txt file. Now we should have everything we need. The npez53/00 folder has our eboot, which we created on our computer. The path.txt, which was missing in the archive. I don't know why, but okay, now it's there. And all the other files. And inside of the VHBL folder we have the VHBL files, like this eboot, which is the VHBL menu, and the h.bin and so on. Okay, next we copy these two folders to the path where our PS Vita save data are, or in my case it's Zett/document/PS Vita. Save data, weird numbers and letters, and then we put it inside of this one. Yes, overwrite the folder, overwrite all the files, because I already tested these files, so I can just overwrite these. And then we're done, and we have to use our PS Vita next to install the exploit. Okay, next on the PS Vita, at first we verify that both games we need are installed. So the base game, which is in my case Uno, is installed, and the exploit game Arcade Darts is also installed. At first I will show you that I can easily run Uno, and that it will run Uno and nothing else if I start Uno. As you can see, Uno is starting like it should. And now we move on to the content manager and copy content. This time I'm doing it via Wi-Fi because I'm a bit lazy to search the USB cable. We have to copy in 2 steps. At first we copy the save data, which will be the Arcade Darts save data and the VHBL save data. We copy both, and if it asks if you should overwrite the files, you just do it. Now there's a nasty bug, which is if you copy or remove the Arcade Darts save data, due to whatever reason, you lose the license of your base game. In this case it would be Uno. But to preserve the license, so pretty much the files which tells the Vita that you are able to start it, you just recopy the base game onto your Vita. So you verify that both games are on the Vita, then second you copy the save data, and third you re-add your base games. In this case I will just recopy Uno back onto my PS Vita. This will prevent any license errors, and if we do it this way, the VHBL should work every time and you should not lose your license. Oh, and after you have set up the VHBL, you can follow my other videos to set up an ARC2 custom firmware bubble. Okay, done. Now you can see I have Uno and Arcade Darts. I will start Arcade Darts and will trigger the exploit. I will load the game, load the save data, and then choose profile 1. We get a green screen, and the game exits. This is everything we need Arcade Darts for. Now, do not open your base game, so in this case Uno. Don't open it yet, because at first we have to refresh the database. So at first shut down your PS Vita. Then remove the memory card and restart it. This will very quick refresh the database, and after you did this, you can easily put the memory card back into the PS Vita. Then you get such a screen, you just press yes, then the Vita will reboot, refresh the database one more time, and then we're pretty much done. This should work, and we should not get a license error, because we recopied the Uno game. At least I hope so. This license error is really nasty and we're still not sure why it appears. But there are ways to preserve the license. Okay, if we now start our base game, in my case Uno, it should start the VHBL. And it looks like it's working. We have no license error, which is very nice, and it's working. As you can see, now Uno is starting the VHBL instead of Uno itself. So this is everything you have to do if you use the arcade darts exploit. Oh, and this is of course working on the latest version, which is 3.36. I'm Zett and see you soon.